Welcome back to DXB Today. Big focus on the economy in all its different forms this evening for you. Look, I know you're watching the show, but you've been out and about all day long. Where have you been if you haven't seen this place booming at the moment? That comes because of a number of different industries working together as one. Our next guest, Thierry Delvaux, is the CEO of Equitativa, the company that manages Emirates REIT, a real estate investment fund. We're going to find out more about that and what are some of the best real estate investments you should be a part of at the moment. Welcome to the show, Thierry. Always good to catch up with you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
I was just thinking when I saw your name on the running order, and I saw the topic that we are here. And this is a man with a huge amount of experience in both the investment but also the real estate forums as well. If you had a dirham for every single time that you were asked, Thierry, is this the right time to invest into the UAE real estate landscape?
It's the perfect time. It's the perfect time. Property investments are thriving in the UAE right now. There's so much capital entering the UAE. In my day-to-day work, I don't think I spend one day without meeting a new investor who's looking for opportunities in the market. So it's the markets are extremely strong. Everybody's aware of the residential market doing so well. What people are less aware of is the office market is thriving because there's huge demand for space, but there's no supply. So what you see the rents going up. The rents have gone up in 2024 by 11%. And developers tend to focus on developing residential schemes. So that's why there's an undersupply of office space, but the office market is thriving right now in the UAE and in Dubai especially.
I'm actually curious about the real estate that's kind of developing right now, especially now with Al Maktoum Airport now opening up soon. People are saying that maybe that's its place to invest in from now because it's going to boom, it's going to grow. Is that true? Because we've seen that in Al Barsha before, and then JVC and JVT and all of that. So what do you think about those areas?
I think that the market is definitely going that way. I would say that we are seeing activity right now close to the Gantut area. We're seeing a lot of activity around Dubai lands and the existing airport, mainly residential for now. But I'm sure we will see the commercial space following. We are actually talking to school operators who are thinking of operating a school in that area as well. So this is where the market is going. If you remember 20 years ago and you would talk about the marina, no one would know where it is. Well, I can tell you that tomorrow, the issue will be that the border to Abu Dhabi is not even the border, but this is where we're going. This is where the market is going for sure, yes.
Just the fact the whole country just expands like that, as you say. I mean, we all talk about like the Hard Rock Cafe when we knew it, and it was the biggest building in Dubai, and of course now it's just totally dwarfed. Going back to what you were saying about the commercial real estate side of things, how can, I mean, besides the obvious answer of just build more, but is there more to it than that to answer this demand, this huge demand? Because you were saying like there's clearly loads more businesses coming here. They all need somewhere to be, right?
Absolutely, and I think a few years ago there was no real understanding of the level of demand that you had in the market. But there's been a lot of research being done. A lot of data have been shared transparently across the communities, and now there's a clear understanding of what is the demand level both in the residential and the commercial space. So a good developer will look at the demand before they start a new scheme to make sure they can sell out, right? And this is why, I think this is partly why we see more stability in the market that we did before. Yeah.
But like what Katie was just saying, I mean, a lot of businesses are moving into the Emirates, and I mean, this is only projected to grow in the thousands this year. And a lot of these businesses are looking for premium office space. Now, I know from my own research that there is a massive supply crunch, which is driving the prices up. Do you think we could see more projects in the pipeline for premium office space? Like, for example, ICD Brookfield in DIFC, I mean, that alone is like the first of its kind in the country. Do you think we can expect to see more buildings like that?
Okay, so I will compare residential development to commercial development. I think it's important to understand that. Residential development, there's so much demand that you might actually sell out the whole project before you even start the construction. So from a return perspective, it's extremely attractive. An office development in the past, you would need to build the whole building and lease it up, and then you start seeing your return on investment. So that's why people would, developer would focus mainly on residential development now. Because the market, the supply is not meeting the demand level, tenants start to pre-lease space. They know that there's a project coming in 2 years, they're gonna sign a contract 2 years in advance. So you can start now getting return on investment earlier and you can fill up the space quicker. That should be an incentive for developers to focus on the office market, and I think they will. But it needs to catch up with the pace of development in residential space, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I think we need to talk about is, again, I'm sure a question that you've been asked time and time again, with so many nationalities coming into the country, so many tools of investment for them at the moment. One that, of course, you have been championing for a long, long time is Emirates REIT and Sharia-compliant funding as well. Is there a better understanding of that for those that are coming into the country at the moment?
Yeah, I think for a first-time investor, investing into a REIT is a very smart.
And a
way
REIT
to
just for the
start.
purpose of?
The REIT, I would explain very in a simple way that it's a portfolio of real estate buildings in which anyone can invest by buying shares on the local stock exchange. And the profit, or most of the profit generated by that portfolio, will be redistributed to the investors through dividends. That's the simplest way to explain what a REIT is. And I think it's a great way to invest into part of a large asset. And by the way, the REIT that we're talking about, Emirates REIT, has mainly office buildings. So we're benefiting from the strong market right now. So you can see that from a predictability perspective, you know where the market is going to be, and therefore it's a relatively secure investment for anyone who enters the market these days.
30 seconds with you, Thierry. In terms of the big challenges moving forward, we know that the markets are booming at the moment. We know that digital is coming in. We know that technology is playing its part. What's keeping developers, what's keeping brokers awake at night at the moment? What will be the challenge moving forward?
Two challenges. The first one, I think, it's development of the infrastructure, because the traffic is becoming really difficult, and people tend to want to work from home instead of going to the office. To be honest, I mean, go to Washington, go to Tokyo, and compare the traffic there. We're still doing okay.
True.
Absolutely.
And the second thing is, we used to deal with volatility in this market. I think the volatility is gone. We now have stability in the real estate market, but some investors were still, worried about, is there going to be another cycle coming? Which I think right now I'm very confident that we have found the stability that we were looking for.
Thierry, it's been an absolute pleasure. Always good to catch up with you. Thank you so much indeed. Enjoy 2025 early doors at the moment. And Tala, can't thank you enough for guest co-hosting as well.
It's a
I hope
pleasure.
you've enjoyed it. It's been great to have you on board. And keep up the extraordinary work with the podcast, the reports, and also thanks for all of that.
Thank you.
The two T's leaving us, Thierry and Tala, thank you very much indeed. But we have got an extraordinary performer coming your way. She's back here on DXB today. Do stick around, you don't want to miss this. Nouri is going to be playing us out next.